Well, hello and welcome to Musings of a Texas Preacher Man. I'm Scott Fisher and I'm glad you've chosen to study with me today. Today we begin week 3 of our study entitled The Great Persecution. We're looking at the New Testament text discussing the persecution and crucifixion of Jesus and the subsequent persecution and murder of his first followers. Now I want to encourage you to go back and watch the previous episodes as this study builds upon each episode and will continue through the entire New Testament. And we're going to pick up today with the story in John chapter 5. Here, Jesus goes into Jerusalem to celebrate one of the Jewish feasts, and John tells us that Jesus went by the pool of Bethesda, or also known as Bethsaida, where the sick would be brought expecting to receive healing if they could get into the pool while the waters were moving. Now, it was said that an angel of the Lord went down into the pool at certain seasons and stirred the waters. And whoever stepped into the waters first after the stirring of the waters was made well. Now, Jesus notices a man who had been ill for 38 years and sees him lying by the pool. And Jesus asks the man, "Do you wish to get well?" Now, several things about this encounter. First, there were lots of sick people around the pool, and Jesus engages with this one man. Second, the answer to his question seems obvious. Do I want to get healed? Do I want to get well? Why do you think I'm here? But the man simply states that he has no one to put him into the pool when the waters stir, and someone always beats him into the water. In John chapter 5, verse 8, Jesus says to the man, "Get up, pick up your pallet and walk." And the man did so. Verse 9, immediately the man became well and picked up his pallet and began to walk. Now the verse concludes with, "Now it was the Sabbath on that day." Now one of the many criticisms the Jews launched against Jesus was that he and his disciples did not properly observe the man-made Sabbath rules, the tradition of the elders. Immediately, the Jews reacted to the man in verse 10. So the Jews were saying to the man who was cured, "It's the Sabbath, and it is not permissible for you to carry your pallet." In verse 11, the man answered them, "He who made me well was the one who said to me, 'Pick up your pallet and walk.'" And they asked him, "Who is the man who said to you, 'Pick up your pallet and walk'?" Well, as the story progresses, he runs into Jesus in the temple and he goes back and tells the Jews that it was Jesus who had made him well. Now again, our theme for this series is the persecution of Jesus leading to his crucifixion and the subsequent persecution and murder of his first followers. We see it once again right here in verses 16 and 17. For this reason, the Jews were persecuting Jesus because he was doing these things on the Sabbath. But he answered them, verse 17, "My Father is working until now, and I myself am working." Now the Jews were critical of Jesus for his non-compliance with their rules. Jesus' response to this is amazingly revealing. The Jewish persecution of Jesus intensifies. Remember, the basis for the Sabbath day is found in Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. "Thus the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their hosts. By the seventh day God completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made." Now, in the Deuteronomy version of the Ten Commandments, the second commandment is in regard to observing the Sabbath day. We find it in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verses 12 through 15. "Observe the Sabbath day to keep it holy, as the Lord your God commanded you. 6 days you shall labor and do your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter or your male servant or your female servant or your ox or your donkey or any of your cattle or your sojourner who stays with you, so that your male servant and your female servant may rest as well as you. You shall remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt, and the Lord your God brought you out of there by a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. Therefore, the Lord your God commanded you to observe the Sabbath day. Now, we know from the teaching of the Apostle Paul that all of the Old Covenant rituals were pointing to the coming Messiah and his messianic kingdom. In Colossians chapter 2, verses 16 and 17, Paul wrote, "Therefore no one is to act as your judge in regard to food or drink or in respect to a festival or a new moon or a Sabbath day, things which are a mere shadow of what is to come, but the substance belongs to Christ." And in Romans chapter 14, verses 5 and 6, he wrote, "One person regards one day above another, another regards every day alike. Each person must be fully convinced in his own mind. He who observes the day observes it for the Lord, and he who eats does so for the Lord, for he gives thanks to God. And he who eats not for the Lord, he does not eat, and gives thanks to God." Now, Jesus and his apostles redefine the tradition of the elders to finding their fulfillment in Jesus, the Messiah. Hebrews chapter 4 redefines the meaning of Sabbath, and it's in keeping with Jesus' statement in John chapter 5. So back to that statement, John 5 verse 17. "My Father is working until now, and I myself am working." Now clearly, according to Jesus, the Sabbath day was pointing to something that was in the process of being fulfilled. Jesus, in essence, is saying, how can I be guilty of breaking the Sabbath when the Sabbath has not yet come? My Father is working until now, and I am working with him to bring it into reality. My contention is that the Sabbath was another metaphoric picture of the Messianic kingdom, the new covenant. And when Jesus made his statement, the Jews went apoplectic. John 5 verse 18, "For this reason, therefore, the Jews were seeking all the more to kill him, because he not only was breaking the Sabbath, but also he was calling God his own Father, making himself equal with God." Well, blasphemy. Now, how does one read the New Testament and skip over this major theme as if it weren't even there? The first century Jewish leadership hated Jesus. He was undermining their entire system. Dietary laws, ceremonial washings, observance of the Sabbath, even stating that the temple would be destroyed with not one stone remaining upon another. And for these reasons, the Jews persecuted him and eventually killed him. Now, I mentioned last week that I teach a Bible study at my office in Bedford on Tuesday nights. If you live in or are visiting the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, feel free to drop in and join us. We meet from 7 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday night. The address is on the screen, and I would love to meet you. Well, I hope you'll continue to join me right here on Musings of a Texas Preacher Man. I post a teaching 4 times each week on Monday through Thursday. I'll post a link on Facebook and Twitter. And if you click the subscribe button, and I really hope you'll click the subscribe button in the lower right corner of your screen, you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. If you like these videos, I hope you'll click the like button and even share it with your friends on social media. Now remember, let Scripture interpret Scripture. I hope you'll go out and make today a great day. Be safe, be blessed, and I'll look forward to seeing you right here again tomorrow.